Alright, baby, we're gonna test some gameplay. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna have fun. And we're gonna figure it out. Okay, not a bad hand here. Ooh, turn one duress. Who doesn't love a good turn one duress? Gets rid of the burn down the house. Alright, we'll go for the outlook here. We're gonna get a forest. Got a curtains coming down. Alright, we'll go bugbear into the kimono. Cosmos elixir. What a time to be alive. Put down a face breaker here. Comes over the counter on it. I think we're gonna go in for a turn 4 Ognis here. Maybe, just maybe. Okay, I imagine we're getting rid of the Froghemoth here. Alright, I think we need to go for Ognis here. Get those treasures working. And then Facebreaker is going to get us some treasures as well. Could have played the battery there, but honestly I think it's better to wait. We're going to see some removal here, so let's find out what it's for. Alright, trying to pitch us a card. We'll pitch the pathway. I guess probably Field of the Ruin on Bugbear here. I guess they're worried about the Bugbear, which is fair. It can make a lot of good value, especially in a deck like this where we're trying to attack. We'll just go get a mountain. We do have Deadly Dispute, but I don't really want to use it if I don't have to. They do have 2 mana up. I can Crew Captain and Valky, so I think that's what I'm going to try to do here. Auto pay in the Valky. We're going to take a look at their hand. We, like an absolute champion, see... I was going to say we see 2 lands, but... yeah, Red Battery probably onto the Ognis there and take a good attack. And I mean, I think we just end up getting a ton of value that way. All right, let's play another game. My hope here is that the microphone sounds a lot clearer. Opponent goes first. Well, we build towards that Raiju, but I think we refill it. Oh, there we go. Got 4 lands. We got some removal. We'll dump that Proving Ground to start. Haunted Ridge, great. So we got a couple turn 2 lands. I mean, do we see the charm here? Do we see the downfall? I guess that's going to be the good question. Okay, so they take away the creature. I think I'm content to put on the mountain here. Let's not decide on these lands if we don't have to. Putting the Haunted Ridge down next turn would open up Riveteer's Charm, which I think is a good piece. It also opens up Hero's Downfall as well. So I think that's really important. Riveteer's Charm doesn't do us as much. To be honest, as far as a removal, like it can get rid of the graveyard, which is nice. But I still think we plan to run Ognis out this turn and just see what happens. We'll get that treasure token and go in for the attacks. So we could see a Kingpin. We could see a Xanathar here. I doubt it since they know we have 2 pieces of removal. They go for the Mind Flayer. I like that because that keeps the Riveteer's Charm up. We can do this in response to the Xanathar if they're going to play it. But then again, they can see it. So, I mean, I don't know if they truly run it out. If I do this and hit the Vorinclex, I think it pushes me far enough ahead. Let's try it. I mean, the whole point here is to get far enough ahead to make it not worth it for them. So I think we go attacking here, get the treasures, and this is going to open us up next turn for a pretty big Inferno of the Star Mounts. Now you can get rid of Vorinclex, but it doesn't really fix the problem. Okay, so Soul Shatter. Do they have anything else? They don't. Okay. So if I play the Star Mounts, it still leaves me enough mana to play the Deadly Dispute. But we're going to swing it again. Okay. So it's going to counter one of the treasures, which is fine. Okay. Do we get the treasure out of this since it's going to die? I think we're going to do this. Let's sack Ognis since it's probably going to die anyway. Put it back in the command zone, get the treasure, draw a couple cards, and then hit him with the Star Mounts. So now they have to deal with the Star Mounts. I guess logically you could say, oh, well, they just dump Xanathar and block with the Amalgam, which is fair. Okay. Well, we'll pitch both the lands. We'll keep the Ob Nixilis. We never know what we can do with it. So they're pitching. They're going for removal here. They're going all in. Clearly they don't have it. Otherwise they wouldn't dig there. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, it's pretty clear there that they didn't have it. Generally, people will play it right away. I think the dig there is obvious. They're trying to find that removal, and thankfully, Frontal Star Mounts comes through for us. That's the one thing I really like about the Ognis list is it's got all these treasure cards in the mid range to generate value, and then you see these really cool big creatures up on the top end, which just tend to create pressure. Because you can 1-for-1 right for days. You can put a lot of removal out there and get rid of these little mini threats. Take out a problematic creature. But the good part there is, sure, they could probably live another turn by blocking the Star Mounts. But the question becomes, what else do I have access to? Right? I am a haste deck at the end of the day, so you never quite know what I might draw off the top. Here we see Jadar, which will be interesting. A lot of this is going to come down to how we outpace it. I don't see this being the hand to do it. I think we really want that extra land. 4 lands here. We get the Valky on 2, which I really like. I'd like to see what's in their hand. So I think we're going to Deathcap Glade on turn 1 unless I draw a Swamp. And then turn 2 we'll play this Valky down and see what we find. The bad part is their turn 2 will be Jadar, so they'll be ahead of us. But I think that's okay. I don't think we mind that. They are really going deep here. All right, Thundering Rebuke. So that'll help for the Jadar. So maybe we switch our turn 2 play into Thundering Rebuking this Jadar. Because that's clearly what they're going to probably be playing on turn 2. Okay. So the thing I like about going for the turn 2 Thundering Rebuke here is this makes Jadar 4, so it makes it a little bit harder to get up into. I think we took the turn off there. I kind of like going Arcane Signet into Valky next turn and seeing maybe if we can get some value out of their hand, but we'll see what they play here. Part of me expects the token to block, just to attack, get the damage out of the way, but I'm not really sure what they're holding. I mean, this is mono black at the end of the day, so we got to worry about duress and our, hand check type cards. Forsworn Paladin. We foretell a card, so that could be Poison the Cup, To be honest, that could be a myriad of things that isn't necessarily guaranteed to just be poison the cup, but that would be my guess. Okay. Is there a world where we Reckless Stormseeker instead? No, I think we Arcane Signet into Valky. Let's take a look at their hand. I'm kind of interested to see if we can pick anything out here good. And we full stop whiff. Okay. Well, it's good to know. At least we know they have the Blood Chief's Thirst, Infernal Grasp, so they have multiple pieces of removal. Kind of sucks, but I mean that's just kind of the name of the game, right? When it comes to arena, I think I'm not gonna block here because if I block, they just probably use removal. I mean, the Decayed Zombie doesn't make any sense to block, and I can't block the Paladin either way. They pass their priority to play anything before combat. Saving Stadium. So we're still within the blood. We're still within the Infernal Grasp mana. Okay, off turn. All right, I kind of like running the Raiju out here as opposed to our commander, seeing if they're going to do something with it. I imagine we see this get Infernal Grasp probably immediately. You don't want to take the attack from it. Okay, so we were right on the Poison the Cup. I'm completely good with that. We drew out one piece of removal. We've still got two more known. One has to be a sorcery speed though, so we only have one more instant speed removal. And then we'll hit for the two. Trade the one on the back end. So we'll trade the one damage back the other way. We'll start trying to get rid of this. Maybe we can try to manage this Strixhaven Stadium. Okay, Hand of Vecna. So if they equip it, they would no longer be able to remove anything. So they don't look... Alright, so they're not worried about the removal at all. They're just going to continue to go in here. Okay. Even if they play the land in hand, they still don't have enough mana for any removal. Okay, this gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This gives me 6, which is not enough for anything relevant. I like the Stormseeker. Let's try to draw out some removal maybe on their turn, and then maybe we can kind of work our way into the Ognis or the burn down the house for the Devils. But the really good thing there is that it's just going to help manage the Strixhaven Stadium, which I don't expect to lose to, but I feel like we still have to be mindful of it. Okay, so they recast Jadar, so they still have enough mana for the Infernal Grasp. They do not have enough mana for Blood Chief's Thirst. Although Blood Chief's Thirst could target Valky. Comes a 4/4. And we're good. Stadium goes up. I really expect to see that Infernal Grasp, but maybe they're waiting to see what we play. All right, well, let's do Hold On Elena, because if anything, this is going to help draw out more removal. Question becomes now, do they take out anything in response? They're going to have an option to use their here. I'm kind of hoping they target it. Let's get it out of the way. Okay. Okay, done with that. I'll give Valky it, and we'll swing in here. I mean, they can't kill me on the backswing, and I doubt they trade the Jadar. So I think we're just going to hit for 5 here. Set up a play for next turn. All they have is Blood Chief's Thirst at sorcery speed, which can be used to kill either of them. Vecna getting less and less. Only have 3 cards here. What, do they full swing? Hit me for 7? Put a turn clock on me? Just in for the 6 for the Decayed. You know, no blocks here, obviously. We still have the option to burn down the house on our turn. I don't see anything that they're doing to play around it at all. So I think maybe this is the time that we... Okay, Deadly Dispute. So they're doing that there to, of course, get their another, another zombie at the end of turn. So we don't have any access to like Malakir Rebirth or anything like that, I don't think. So I can't think of anything that would save either of these creatures for them. And I'm really content to put Jadar back into the command zone. Ooh, that's bad. Well, actually, it's fine, because Burn Down the House would deal with Lolth as well. So I think that's our perfect play. There's no mana left. They have nothing they can do. We burn down the house. Gonna wipe the entire board. And then we have enough mana to set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need one more mana to get both these guys out. But now we force them to start spending their mana to bring Jadar back out again. That would be their entire turn at this point to bring Jadar back out. And of course, unless they have a Swamp handy, but still, they can't get Vecna onto it. So we see it hold, which means they have the ability to play something. Nope. Okay. All right, I like Ognis here. And let's swing in. And I can Deadly Dispute that tap treasure on their turn. Which I don't want to show them that I have. I'm intrigued to see what it is they choose to do here. So they equip up. Okay. A lot of 2-mana removal. So I think when they go to combat, I'm going to Deadly Dispute. And we'll see if we can draw the mana. We're dead if not at this point. 5 would make it 6, and that would be 8. But I'd like to at least try. So we sack this treasure. Draw coup cards, net the treasure, and we can Power World kill right away. You say good game, which probably means they don't have anything else. My turn, we do the Oddity, we do the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, that gives us a blocker. And so we did it on the play into combat, so they couldn't, do anything with this, attach it, whatever, what it may have you. I'm okay with them getting rid of Ognis there. And they have no idea what we have in our hand. This can't block. And they have no way to give it trample. So is this enough? It is not enough. That's 7. So we do this. We do the Oddity. And then we attack with Oddity. And then this will be lethal next turn. Provided, again, they don't have any removal. Now they can get rid of this. They can equip the Vecna and the Vorpal Sword. That would be 2, 4, 6. Because of the cards in hand. So I don't think they have enough to kill me outright. If they have to spend any mana to remove this, any card in their hand, that would be 4, 6. So I don't think they have enough to kill me. So the question will become, what did they do here? So they equipped the Vorpal Sword. Okay. They don't have enough mana to use the Vorpal Sword. So Vecna would get it to 7, but it does not give it Menace. It doesn't give it any special abilities. It just equips. Okay, so they're all in then on this working. I mean, we'll block. We have no reason not to. So at this point, if they get rid of the Goblin, they don't have trample. So I'm guessing they have a removal for the Oddity. Otherwise, that seems like a terrible attack on their part. Okay. My okay. Yep, so it didn't work the way they thought it was going to. And there we go. So next turn, we just play the Star Mounts in. We got it. I'm getting a lot better with this Ognis deck. I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. I think it fits better into the mid game. It seems to be working really well. And the changes that I made before we did our last video, I think are really helping. Yeah, I don't know if I'll release this video, to be honest, or when it'll come out. But my hope is that people still enjoy the gameplay. Maybe I'll throw this out as a little side episode one of the days, just to say testing new mic or whatever. So, but we'll have more Brawl content coming up soon. Working on Jetmir. I'm working on some new stuff. Minsk and Boo. Working on Shrines. Lots of good stuff. I kind of want to try to be careful on Brawl content until Standard Brawl content. Until Down Area comes out, because I want to be careful to not spend any wild cards on anything new until, especially for Standard Brawl, because with rotation happening, there's a lot of cards leaving Standard, so I don't want to build anything new and then lose the cards. Playing the tree, I don't know how much we missed though by that little client drop. Okay, we didn't miss anything. I like it. Got plenty of removal. We got this to do it with. We'll get the Proving Ground down. So we have Strangle on our turn. We can drop a Forest and have Power Word Kill as well. The only bad part here, of course, against Eska, so the deck fairly heavily relies on getting to that 5 mana point for the bridge. So I think we've got a turn or two to try to set up before they kill the bridge. Interesting enough, Boseiju doesn't say that it can't be legendary. So maybe I leave up this Boseiju for the tree, the bridge if they play it, and do it that way. I do also have to feed the swarm for the bridge, so we have plenty of ways to get rid of not only this Velky but the bridge, which should keep us ahead. We mountain, and I'm very content to Strangle here. They can't pay the mana to make it into Hadelan Elena, so we're gonna get that back to our hand. And then there's nothing else I'm really honestly content to do, so we'll just pass the turn. We'll keep Power Word Kill up, just in case they have anything here. I like their pet. I don't know that I recognize that one. I guess they do not have a pet enabled for this deck. I don't see it. I thought I had chose one, but I guess not. I guess no pet. This is one of the Capenna arenas. I do think the Capenna arenas look really cool. All right, so we see Tamiyo. Okay, so they're going to tap down Arcane Signet. Seems more than fair. We do not draw land, which kind of stinks. I kind of wish I had drawn a land there, but that's okay, because I would have loved to have gotten Ognis down and attacked the Tamiyo. But in all reality, I think the next turn is going to be pretty much defined by getting rid of the Prismatic Bridge, if that's what the route they're going to go down. I think I'm content to let them tap down my Arcane Signet into Oblivion. I think sometimes it's really interesting to play around these really linear decks. Like Ognis, obviously, I'm trying to get to 4 mana. I'm trying to start the treasure game plan. The bridge, you're getting to 5 mana. You're playing the bridge. You're mining value. The interesting part here is they can see the entirety of my hand, and they have the mana to play the bridge. The question is going to become: do you play it and force out the removal, or do you try to build further and do something else? Okay, so we see Teferi, who slows the sunset. I wonder, do they do the scry here? Or do they do the +1 and kind of mess around with stuff like they always do? Yeah, they'll do the +1 here. Okay. So we draw the Blightstep pathway, which means I'm for sure going for Ognis. Now, I expect to get washed away here, and we don't. I'm going to kill Tamiyo. I think she's better to take out here. Because Teferi at this point can only look at the top 3 or tap things down. So honestly, not much of to be worried about there. Kamano will flip next turn, which will be good. We can dump the Helena down and get some value there. All right, so Kaya, the question is it go after Ognis or do you go after the Kamano? Go after Ognis. Okay. I'm content with that. The problem here is I can kill Teferi next turn. No, I can't. It'd be 2 + 2. That's 4. I cannot kill Teferi next turn, even with this flipping. Hold on, Elena. Do I deadly dispute the treasure? Well, let's wait. We don't need to, right? Let's kill Kaya. We still have a turn left on Teferi before Teferi becomes a problem. So at this point, I realize that I'm literally just buying my time. Because, I mean, at this point, what they're trying to do is wait me out until they can dump this bridge down. But that's okay. I mean, they can remove my creatures. They can do all they want. I have a Feed the Swarm, and I have a Beseiju ready for this bridge. I think that's the one weakness window that Eska has, is having to wait for the bridge. Binding of the Old Gods here? No, it's 5 mana. 5 mana. I wonder what they have. If they target either of these, I will just sack the Deadly. I'll just get the Deadly Dispute off. Okay, so I think I'm just going to Deadly Dispute here, and we'll sack the treasure. So now they didn't really tap on the Arcane Signet. I still used it. Okay. They tap down Helena. Makes me wonder what it is they're trying to do. Do you have enough mana to replay Ognis next turn? Helena Lena could pop up. Okay, so they meet Hook. I think I'm content with that. It sucks, but I'm content with that. Do we Feed the Swarm meet Hook? Because we still have Beseiju for... And we're going to go deep into Ognis, and we'll hit Teferi so it can ultimate. Yeah, I think keeping Teferi from ultimating there is really important. My hope is I can just squeak them out of removal, squeak them out of relevant permanents, squeak them out of things that they can use. Eventually, they're going to have to set themselves to the tree. Now, next turn, I don't have to use Burn the House, down to the house to deal the 5 damage. I can use it for the Devils. And the Devils get haste, so with Ognis out, that would net me 3 treasures. But I'm kind of wondering when we see the front side of Essica, or when we see the bridge come down. They can mess around with Teferi all they want to, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to win them the game at this point. So the question becomes, do they run the tree out? Okay, so we see a Celestis. Okay, so they're going to try to start looting, which is a good idea. You start looting, you start trying to see new cards and get new things. What, do they untap one of their lands? Okay, so we see them untap the Celestis and one of their lands for Obnixilis. Okay. Burn down the house becoming a lot better target than I thought it was going to for something to play. Do we just burn down the house? Do we take Ognis as collateral damage and try to push our strategy forward this way? Or do we make them block with the Devil because they can't actually kill Ognis even if they block with the Devil. I think I'm going to burn down the house for the Devils. We're going to net a ton of treasures. We'll send 2 Devils at Obnixilus, just so that way, whether they block Ognis or a Devil, they will still kill Obnixilus. Okay, that's fine. So they can kill one of our Devils. The problem is it just continues the damage train, and we'll just point it at Teferi, and then we'll pass. So we keep Beseiju up in case they play the bridge. The only problem we have now is we've kind of run out of creatures, so my hope is that this game doesn't last too much longer. We are eventually going to run out of applicable creatures. But you've got to think at the same time they're going to run out of applicable things as well. Lolth. Two spiders. Do we Beseiju the Celestis? No, that doesn't make any sense. It's just asking for trouble. I kind of want to get rid of one of these spiders and eliminate the amount of blockers they have to try to push more damage through to this Lolth. The good part here is if I all 3 attack Lolth, it wouldn't. Well, damage is dealt at the same time, which means Lolth would die right before the counters go on. So let's do that. Let's try to get rid of this Lolth. They could not block. They could just say, hey, Lolth is a lost cause and not block, but I doubt it. Okay, so they do. They just let Lolth go, which makes sense. I mean, I just put a lot of resources into killing it. I find it a little ironic that, like, I don't know. I felt the first video with Ognis didn't necessarily get all of the same fun things, but this time around we get some good games. So they dump a Vorinclex out, which really kind of sucks. That's gonna be a problem. I also love that I did not draw a single creature. All right, I think I'm gonna Beseiju this Celestis. Try to get it out of the way. Try to stop their little looting plan. The only problem here is that now I have no removal for the bridge. So I've definitely. Oh man. Okay. So we'll try to kill the Vorinclex, which we do. And I think we just go swinging at Teferi here. Plenty of chance to block the Ognis, which is what I expect to happen. 2 through to the Teferi. Okay, 2 cards in hand. So the bridge more than likely coming down now. And unfortunately, they've kind of gained their way into having more than enough life in this situation. The only savior I can think of. 1, 7, 8. So I don't think we can even Inferno the Star Mounts into a win here, because we have to pay 2 red for it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which would get me up to 16, which is still not enough. It would be 22, 25, 27. So that's not even a draw. And I think unfortunately, once the bridge comes down, I think we're pretty done for at this point. So there's the bridge. Vorinclex may help with this problem. Okay, we'll go all in at them. The Vorinclex will only help with if a Planeswalker comes in, it's going to come in with half its loyalty, which will be helpful. If they +1 Teferi, he will actually not +1 at all because of Vorinclex. So they -2. Probably looking for some good removal here, good kind of things. Now the Archon can block. Man, we are just getting shredded. We got to go in face again. We're just going to continue to mount more treasures that I cannot use. Did they pump it? No, they don't pump it. They just let us trample through. And I'll keep the card in my hand. Just maybe make them think that I have something. Redain comes down. Redain would be a problem for a lot of decks with the Snowlands coming in tapped, but we're not playing any Snowlands, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this was my hope. My hope was that we would run out enough time of a clock so that the bridge wouldn't get them too much value, but I gotta think that they're gonna have something here. I'm still at like 12 red sources. So I'm still, you know, again, my, like, the back of my head is like Inferno of the Star Mounts can get me X damage provided I needed to. So farewelling everything. Yeah, that checks out. We can still replay Ognis. So they didn't get around that. But again, I don't know how much that does us. Well, it's our play. Unless they have a response. If they counter this, I think we just scoop it up. They don't. But they're, yeah. All right, we'll attack Teferi. I mean, it only does us so much good, but at least it gets it out of the way. We just gotta hope their Prismatic Bridge draw isn't the best thing we've ever seen. It's an Avernus. Okay, or Zerial, sorry. So this is not gonna kill. This can't kill Ognis. Onyx can. So they're still using a lot of removal. Man, I wish I just had something to draw into here, but I don't think I do. The burn down the house would have been, ooh, Oddity. I can flip the Oddity, but I have a feeling this will not last. Let's see. Can I flip this without getting it responded to? All right, let's kill the Onyx. Okay, again, we stay alive for another turn. Okay, Sorin cannot kill the Behemoth. But again, I have to assume they have a card at this point. My only hope here is they don't kill it. I flip. I get back Ognis. I can get Ognis down. It becomes a 4/4. Trample and haste, and we start punishing through. But I gotta imagine they have another board wipe. They have something here. Or is our hope that we've run through enough cards to get rid of most of their removal? And I think this is the other problem, right? I mean, part of you says, oh, we keep attacking the Planeswalkers, but at the same time, it's going to keep running us into trouble because they get more and more turns. I think we have to start pointing at their face here if we survive into our turn with Behemoth left. The only bad part is if I play Ognis and it dies 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we'll never get it back. Maybe it would just be too expensive to get back. Ouch. Okay, so they're just dumping creatures. I can't do both. The Froghemoth does hit hard. Do we just see what they block? You don't have to block, but do we see what they block? I mean, there's not really that many creature cards. There's not much left in their graveyard anyway, if they don't fully block the Froghemoth. But I'd like to see what they do here. Okay, so we'll get rid of the Spara. Oh, we'll get rid of the shield counter at least. And I guess probably both double targets go to my face. Okay, Kaito cannot kill my creature, but we can get another blocker. And get another blocker. How do they flip this? They can't. They can't flip it. It's just their choice. Okay. Down to 2 cards in hand. They're diving. They're dumpster diving. Ooh, Luxor. Ooh, that could be bad. Luxor, but even their biggest isn't really that great at the moment. Do they make like Soren into a 6/6? That becomes the question. Elspeth. I mean, do they plus one on Aspara? To try to play cards off the top? Or do they plus one on the Soren? They plus one on the Soren. What are they giving it? Lifelink probably? Yeah. Brings us down to 10, puts them up to 19. Unfortunately, that probably is the game. They don't even need to remove the behemoth at this point. I feel like that probably just spells the end of the game. Only question is, what can I draw? Meat Hook? I mean, Meat Hook would do it at this point. It just wipe the entire board. I mean, it's creatures go. Of course, I can't wipe the planeswalkers. We used our burn down the house, so that would have gotten rid of the... that would have gotten rid of the planeswalkers that way. Okay. Does getting rid of Spara do us any good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we don't have enough to replay Ognis. Yeah, I don't think I have any out here. Oh, I can replay Ognis. It just doesn't seem worth it just to get it blocked. Unfortunately, I think that is going to do it. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Unfortunately, I don't see an out there. No matter even what I draw at that point, I've gone through so much my deck, and there's no see cards. But hey, thanks guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.